There is no such thing as permanence by Krishnamurti. Hello everyone, this is author PB Flower. Welcome to the 4th episode of my podcast. Today's topic for discussion is permanence. Now my interpretation to this quote, there is no such thing as permanence, is discussed under Forever in my series All Call None. So in my series, there is a character which I had introduced in the last podcast, which is Asher. He exists on a parallel timeline to the character Eklavya. And he has quoted in there, forever spans beyond time. And there's yet another parallel where this character Aster exists, who has said, there is no such thing as forever, at least not while we are alive in physical form. So as humans, I think we use this word very loosely, saying, I will love you forever, we will be together forever, But here's the thing, to me, forever begins after death. The only permanence that I have recognized, now I know I'm not dead yet, but living the life that I am, things are just changing constantly. So I don't understand the obsession with forever and the permanence. So let's pick up an excerpt from my book, and then we will connect it to what I just said. So in this excerpt, of course, there's this character Eklavya and Zenith, which we are very familiar with now. So Eklavya is telling Zenith, try living indefinitely. It will bore you, for sure. To that, Zenith responds, you're right, unless you are young forever. So Eklavya explains her, even then, change is the constant that keeps everything interesting. There is no such thing as unaffected forever. So once again, like I said before, that permanence doesn't make any sense to me, because I'm living a life and it is changing constantly. And so the key word from this excerpt, I think, would be unaffected forever. As humans, we long for permanence of either happiness, wealth, and for some it is beauty, togetherness. There are many other things that we long that they would stay with us forever. And again, the forever word is just, it's just so funny to use it because it just doesn't exist. But unless it is comparative, so it loses the meaning. Permanent is boring, okay, unless it keeps changing. But we would never know because, like I said, change is the only constant in this universe, so we just don't know. Like Eklavya said, try living forever, and then you will know how boring it is, So we have no way of knowing it because everything is just changing so much. So we'll take another excerpt from my book. In this, there is this new character that I'm introducing, which is Quetzal. And so this character, Aster, that I just mentioned, is talking to Quetzal here. So he says, Aster says, Quetzal, anything is valuable because it does not last forever. So Quetzal says, is forever bad? So Aster tells her, it is a non-existent burden of this ever-amending creation. I know it is a mouthful, and that's what the Quetzal character felt too, and she had confusion on her face, so Aster tries to put it simply for her by saying, unchanged forever does not exist. So at the creation level, change is happening all the time. But we are at a different timeline from the universe to recognize that change. And so that's why scientists have come up with these scales like light years away. It happened these many light years away. So, we can timeline it a bit. We can put it on a scale that we can understand, because we are on a different timeline than our universe is operating at. And maybe that's why we think that there is a thing like forever, because we are on a different timeline and the universe is on a very, very slower timeline than us. So maybe this forever that we are thinking of is beyond our existence, like I said, and it only begins after we leave this physical form. And this beyond is actually explained with a very surprising take in my third book of the series, All Kalnan. There's like a big reveal of this engineered being that I have in every parallel. So to conclude today's discussion, I think forever has meaning because it is comparative. If there is nothing to compare it with, like a change, then it will lose its meaning. And of course, it will become boring. So I would like to know your views on it. And maybe I will discuss it with a different word in my other podcast, the future podcast. All right, well, thank you so much for listening and tuning in. Goodbye.